Involved in receiving your PhD is one of the emotional memories that will last forever. I am born and bred of UTD. I came to this campus when there were just juniors and seniors and graduate students. Dr. Scott was one of my first faculty members when I was 19 years old. And then he became one of my committee members. So he hasn't gotten rid of me all this time. My brothers are all UTD graduates, all three of them. Two of them have their masters, and my nephew just recently got his MBA from UTD. So we're born and bred UTD. My 3 degrees are from here, and I am proud of every bit of rising up of UTD as we become bigger and bigger. I hope you will see your degree evolve like I have. Now let's talk about you. This is your day. You got here because you believed. You believed in something bigger. You believed overcoming adversity would make you stronger. You believed in yourself. Getting a PhD forces you to believe. No one sets out on a mission to get a PhD accidentally. You set a goal because you believed it would help you. You believed it would accelerate your career. It is a moment that matters. The moment that stands for you believing. At some point, you set a goal, one higher than all others. A goal that would require you to gain new skills that would advantage you for the rest of your life. Well, guess what? You did it. And it will. Everything you need to get a positive return on investment, you now have. You have obtained a PhD, and with it came new skills. Now the blood, sweat, and tears you have already invested are paid for. You've done it. You've met all the hurdles. Those hurdles go well beyond meeting the course requirements, taking your comps, getting your topic approved, and then taking the incredible, long, and tiring path of researching and writing your dissertation. So the hurdles you have met required believing. You believed you could do it. You believed that you could work through all the trials and tribulations, the times your committee did not agree, the times your committee did not get along with each other. Not that that ever happens. And they definitely wanted you to know they were a force higher than you. The skill you obtained was that of overcoming adversity. I set my sights on getting a PhD to overcome adversity. For my love of cheerleading of all things came attached with doubt and stereotypes. Doubts that I was not smart enough to hang with the academic elite. By being a cheerleader, I guess people believed my IQ dropped several points. I knew from an early age that I would need to arm myself. And to arm myself would be something that I could put in my back pocket. Something that, when needed, I would whip out and use very carefully and deliberately to let others know that I did the hard work, that I overcame the adversity required. Now, most recently, I don't use, in my industry, my PhD. I didn't use it on my title at Frito-Lay or PepsiCo. I chose not to. My 9 years working with the federal government, working with the Secretary of Health and Human Services, it was very important to have my PhD on my business cards. It was very important when I spoke at conferences for the other doctors in the medical community to understand that I did the hard work. You're going to have to judge when you whip out the trump card. Now, recently I spoke in Amsterdam, and my mom and dad are in the audience, and I invited my mom along for this road trip through several countries of speaking. And I was speaking on Shopper in Action in Amsterdam to an international audience, and the MC asked me, "What's one thing that I should know about you? Like one fun fact?" And I said I was a cheerleader. Well, lo and behold, I had no idea that when I stepped on stage and knew one person in that global audience, all he would say about me was, "She's the cheerleader from America." So I knew at that point, stepping on stage and using every bit of knowledge about the brain and brain science and human decision making, I was starting from ground zero and building up. But I knew I could do it. And that's what I want to communicate to you today. You are equipped with the skills to take the world on. You've done it. Each of you are here today, and you have a story. You have a story why you wanted to get a PhD. Maybe it's a personal story of overcoming something. Maybe you didn't feel in high school you performed at your best, or your undergraduate degrees, you didn't achieve what you wanted to achieve. Maybe somebody suggested it. I am grateful that my mom encouraged me to get a PhD. She wanted this for me so that I had the trump card to pull up when needed. So thank you, Mom. Exactly 19 years ago, after I got my PhD, I will say that the reason you get a PhD is not about what others wish for you or what it can do for your career. It's what it does for you, what it sets the record straight, what it helps you show to yourself that you're able to do. I admire those folks that set those lofty goals. Those that ran the marathon. Anybody run the marathon or run marathons in the audience? Anybody run the Dallas Marathon? It's a lofty goal. It was cold when you finished that marathon. I was following people who were running. It takes an inner strength that you have to get through it. You have to get through mile 18 to the finish line. It's tough. So you've proven to yourself that you can overcome adversity and you can retool yourself in the future. You have mastered the gift of learning. You can take a random topic, research the heck out of it, and convince others you know it better than anyone. This is what you have the gift of learning. Several years after receiving my PhD, someone asked me if I knew what a PhD stood for. It was several years after that I realized that it was piled higher and deeper. Has anybody heard that? I will say that embrace that. Embrace that as an acquired skill. You can overcome what is piled higher and deeper.